All right, so I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and as promised, I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on the game. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right. So, full transparency, I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time. Usually when I do a review for a game, this is not going to be a review. This is just going to be initial thoughts. And the reason is because I was playing the game yesterday, and usually when I do a review, I've played the game for about 6 hours, which I think is, because here's the way I look at money, all right? The amount you spend on something, you should get an equal amount of time and opportunity, because time equals money. So let's say in California, minimum wage is $10, right? And so if you make $10 an hour, that means that whenever you spend, if you spend $20 on something, it should entertain you for at least 2 hours, right? So if you go to the movies, you're paying $15 for a movie. The movie's an hour and a half. It counts, right? You got your money's worth. Whether or not you like the movie, honestly, not really that relevant. It's whether or not you actually enjoyed your purchase. That's the way that I try to look at money. So this time it's different. I didn't actually get to play the full 6 hours of the game because the game's about $60, $65. So what I do is, all right, I played for 6 hours and I see if I got my money's worth. This time was actually different. And the reason why is because we kind of have had a problem. So yesterday, right before I forget, as always, you can, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. Also at SuperDario_World on Facebook. I upload everything there. I update everything there. Well, I don't really upload it. I update it. Also, it's the same link for my Twitch and YouTube channel. So I've started live streaming stuff again, and I took it slow. So I noticed that when I do live stream, when I'm live streaming a game, I have an issue, and that's that I get too into the game and I forget to talk, which is not as fun for the people. And honestly, it's not as much fun for me because I'm really into the game and I forget, I got to pay attention to the people. So what we started doing is my kid brother, I used to do a podcast with my kid brother, Super Dario Brothers. And it's like, you know what? How about, it was very long. My podcasts are usually between 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes. The ones with him were like 2 hours, and some of them were 4, and we had to cut it into 2. So it's like, you know what? That's too long. It's too big of a waste of time. So, well, not a waste of time, but it's just too long. So how about if instead of doing a podcast, how about if we just do the live stream? You're sitting here with me while I'm playing the game, and then that's when we have a conversation, because that way I have somebody who keeps pulling me back, and he can handle the chat and all that stuff. So we did it yesterday. Actually worked out fine. We were actually playing Ghost of Tsushima, and we kind of had an issue there at the end. We're gonna do this. The schedule is we're gonna aim for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today we're gonna do about 5 p.m. approximately, maybe 6. But I'm aiming for Tuesdays, Thursdays, at about 4 p.m. and then maybe every other Saturday, because what I want to do is I want to do a competition thing between him and me, because for those of you who may or may not remember, I want to do a video game tournament with local people, because there's this thing that I want to compete in a tournament, but I know that I'm not good enough. And a lot of people, since I mentioned that, a lot of people have reached out and be like, dude, I would love to be a part of those. Just friends getting together, or locals getting together, having a few beers and playing some games, maybe $20 in, and winner takes all. I think that would be fun. So in setup for that, I'm testing some things out, and so I will be competing against him, and hopefully one thing will lead to the other. I'm a tester, I'm a tinkerer. I like testing stuff out, see what works, and then take the big jump into something else. Anyway, what the hell was I even talking about? This is an issue. I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. So we were doing live stream yesterday. It was going well. Honestly, it was fun. We had, we were having a little bit of fun there with the chat. Eric, for some reason, decided that he wanted to dub all the voices in the game, so he was starting to go into just reading the lines for the chat, because we're having some audio issues. I think I got them fixed. The point is, we're having fun with it. We're about an hour in, and all of a sudden, the power goes out. And I don't mean just in my house. We went out the door, and it was out everywhere, like blocks. I texted a friend who lives who lives on the eastern part of our city, and she told me, no, it's all good over here. But it was out for like a good from what was it, 8 p.m. to like 1 a.m. So it was for a good chunk of time. So I didn't get my full 6 hours in. But I did. I made the promise yesterday that I was going to break down. Well, I was going to give you at least my initial thoughts, or I was going to do the review today. So today, you get the initial thoughts, and also, like I said, we'll be streaming again later today with my kid brother. If you just want to join us and have some fun, I'm aiming for 5 p.m. Might be 6, but I'm aiming for 5 p.m. It all depends, I guess, on how long it takes me to load this stuff. Anyway, so. That's the plan for today. Also, by the way, subscribe on my YouTube channel because that's the way it's going to notify you. And I'm planning on next week to start live streaming this. It's way easier. Honestly, once I did it once, and it was pretty easy. So I'm going to be live streaming my regular show. I'm going to be doing it live. Questions and comments and all that stuff, I'll try to keep an eye out for them, but I'll probably just wait till the end. And at the end, I'll just go through the whole thing. And so it may make my podcast longer. I don't know. But if I spot something off the corner of my eye immediately, I'll try to answer it. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm just trying to starting to do everything live, since I can already edit things out here as I'm talking. Let's see, for example, I'm gonna go to the logo because I got nothing to say, so I can hide, or I can just go back to me. So it's pretty basic stuff. Like I said, I will be testing stuff out. I will hopefully be getting better at doing all this stuff, but it's a work in progress. Hopefully you'll join me for it. But like I said, you need to subscribe there or on Twitch, because those are the two areas where I'm going to be live streaming. And honestly, I still haven't chosen which one I'm gonna go for, because before I was between Mixer and Twitch, but Mixer died. By the way, big news: Mixer is dead, dead as a doornail. So now I have to pick between those two. YouTube, I like that it's pretty simple and it keeps the videos saved there. Actually, if you want to see the live stream from yesterday, it's up on YouTube again, Super Dario World. But I don't know. Anyway. Let's get into the game, Ghost of Tsushima. And again, this is just going to be my initial thoughts. So, Ghost of Tsushima. The game is the best part of the game. Honestly, it's its strongest feature, the thing that makes it stand out the most. It's probably the most beautiful game I've ever played. It's a visual orgasm, so to speak. Honestly, it's a masterpiece just for that. You're riding around, you're exploring. Like, let me just show you a few visuals here. And I think, because I've been thinking about this a lot, like, what makes this thing special? Like, look at those landscapes. It's beautiful. It's a testament to the game or to the game designers, how beautiful they made it look, that I told my brother, dude, whenever we go back to Japan, we gotta go see Tsushima. Like, this island looks gorgeous. And so, like, oh, look at all those plants. It's very colorful. It's very beautiful. And I've been trying to think, like, what is it that makes it so visually, pleasing? So visually, so aesthetically pleasing. That's the term I was looking for. And it's the way they handle the lighting. So if you look at it here, well, first off, it's great design and all that stuff, and all very colorful, but it's the lighting. When it's dark, let me see, show you a picture here when it's dark. It's the moonlight. You got some fog, you got some smoke. And they handle light very well. And so, to me, like, just look at that. That's a fight on the sunset. They use nature very well, like leaves falling. There's a part of the game where you're just riding around a golden forest, because it's a forest with golden leaves. It's very, very beautiful, very colorful. There's for some reason a mechanic in the game where you can play in black and white. And that's, it's an homage to a Japanese director, very, very, very famous Japanese director, whose name, Kurosawa. There you go. So it's Kurosawa mode. I have no idea why anybody would do this. I guess it's for the lulz. Also, it's because it looks kind of grainy. And maybe after I finish the game the first time, I may go back and play it that way. I don't think so, because to me, it's so beautiful. Honestly, you're just enjoying riding around and looking at the environments. Like, and the game has a photo mode, right? It has a picture mode. So what Eric says, that when a game does that, it's like the creators just flexing, like, yeah, we know we made a beautiful game, and we know you're gonna enjoy it. So yes, it's just them flexing, like, yeah, enjoy that visual aesthetic. So to me, that's the strongest part of the game. It's not the most enjoyable part of the game, but it's very important if you're into this stuff. Like, the game could be beautiful and the gameplay could be shit. This is not the case. It's that it's enjoyable gameplay and it's very pleasing on the eyes. So there you go. You have some images you can see. Also, there's a whole bunch of pictures online because people have been going crazy with the picture mode. So you can just check out what people have loaded there. The story so far, what I've been doing overall, it takes place during the Mongolian invasion of Japan. Now, if you're a history buff, you probably kind of know how things go. It's not 100% historically accurate, and by not 100%, I mean it's not historically accurate. They had to they changed a lot of stuff up. I personally don't mind that, but yeah, that's the time period that it takes place. Medieval. It's the expansion of the Golden Horde and their attack on Japan, particularly in their first. I guess the first place that they landed on was the island of Tsushima. Very, very, very interesting setup there because Japanese. Well, the Japanese people, they had, their warriors called samurais. However, not everybody could be a samurai. It was actually like you had to be an elite to be a part of the samurai. And so in order to be a samurai, you need to train for a really long time. And so they are better trained. However, they are hugely outnumbered by the Mongolians. And so you're moving around in the island of Tsushima trying to survive. You play as the main character, Jin here. Jin, who is actually a pretty likable dude. He's in a very bad situation. And they kidnap. He's the lord of his clan, and they kidnap. Well, not they kidnap, but in battle, his uncle falls in battle, and he is taken prisoner by a Khan. I don't remember his name right now. I'm like there's two very famous Khans, which is Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan, his son. This is a cousin of Kublai Khan. To me, I just called him Khan, and so honestly. The villain is great. Well, the main character is great so far. It's enjoyable. You can tell that his story is going to be one of conflict because the samurai way is what's going to get them defeated. Here's what actually cost their first defeat. So he has to try to go, let's say, try less ethical methods, which again is not the samurai way. It's closer to the ninja way. And so it's like he may have to. I'm guessing the main character's question throughout the game, or at least in the very beginning of the game, is: would you be willing to give up your honor to save your island, to save your people? That's his main conflict. Also, he's trying to save his uncle. The villain so far, I love them. I cannot remember the name of the actor. I can't. But I think I met him. And it's really bugging me because I'm pretty sure I met the guy at Comic-Con, and it's gonna bug me. But so far, like I said, he's a Khan. He's a Mongolian, big dude, big giant dude. And what makes him a great villain is that first off, gigantic human being. Second, cold-blooded as hell. 3, calm. He's a very calm, very intellectual. So it's one of those villains that are terrifying. Just because you know that you can't break them. It's like he's so strong mentally. He looks strong mentally, strong physically, and he's convinced in what he believes in. He's not like a fanatic, but he's convinced that their method is the best. And actually, their method kind of historically accurate. What the Mongolians did, well, the Mongolians are fascinating people, especially the era of Genghis Khan, the Golden Horde, and Kublai Khan, and all that stuff. Mongolians, what they did was whenever they conquered somebody, is they would take all their smartest people, learn whatever they could from them, and then they would kill them. So they would take all their technology, all their advancements, and all that stuff because they believed in that stuff. Other people like the Vikings, they just raided, they took your gold and took your women, and like go fuck yourselves. No, the Mongolians are very smart in the way they conquered. They took your technologies, they took the smartest people, and they absorbed that into their culture. That's why we owe a lot of stuff to the Mongolians. Let's say the two biggest things probably are the separation of church and state was I believe originally implemented by Genghis Khan. Also, meritocracy was introduced by Mongolians. So they fundamentally changed the way the world works. Also, you could argue that Genghis Khan was the world's greatest environmentalist because he killed so many people that nature took back over like huge swaths of land, and that actually ended up like the scientists have checked that there's a dip in carbon emissions in the world. Like there's like the graph was going up, and all of a sudden once it takes a dip, and it's because of all the people that Genghis Khan killed. So very important historically. And so far, like I said, I've seen very little of them in the game. I haven't played my usual 6 hours. I think I'm like 4 hours in basically, but so far it feels at least like they're historically accurate. You actually, there if there's one thing that I would have added is just a buttload more of Mongolians. Because here it's an open world game. You're traveling around every once in a while. You run into maybe some criminals. You run into some Mongolians. If you're being invaded by the Golden Horde, you should be seeing Mongolians everywhere. But I guess that would not make for a very realistic game because your character would be captured in 2 seconds. So I guess I understand that. And like I said, the game just started. Maybe as the game progresses and more troops land, stuff like that, we'll see. Like I said, it's very early. The gameplay is fun. So far, it's you can do a lot of stuff. The Sucker Punch, the studio that created the game, also created Sly Cooper, so there's a lot of moving around, and you're kind of like a spy. I did not play, I believe it was Infamous, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it's got similar mechanics. I like that, first off, they do this thing where you can upgrade everything. You can, well, it's a regular RPG. You can change the clothes, you can change the weapon, you can upgrade all that stuff. But here you also have the opportunity of gaining dyes, I guess. So sometimes in a game you're like, all right, I can buy this armor, I can buy this armor. Here, if you can gather the materials for a dye, you can actually change the color. I think that's cool. I'm pretty sure there's other games that have done it, but I don't remember like in an RPG like that you could actually pick the color. To me, that's fun. It's the little things that make things funner. And so, like I said, open world. So far, I'm having an issue with the open world because whenever a game is open world, I get distracted, and literally here, I'm like the dog from Up, like squirrel. And so, yeah, I'm in the game, I'm riding around, and all of a sudden a fox appears. And it turns out that if you follow a fox, it takes you to like a shrine, and it gives you like stuff. And also there's also a golden bird, and if you follow the golden bird, it leads you to like special places. So I'm just riding around, all of a sudden it's like bird, and I'm riding around, and all of a sudden fox, and so I gotta follow them, and then I get distracted, and then I find other stuff. So that's my issue with open worlds, but so far it's fine. Like I said, you're riding around, and you get to enjoy a beautiful world. The fighting mechanics seem pretty straightforward. The game right now seems a little bit easy. I started in normal just because I wanted to see what's up. It seems a little bit easy. I may move up to hard very soon. Just because I enjoy having a challenge there. Also, it's once there's a point where you feel like you're good enough, and you're like, man, I gotta step up my game here. But overall, very enjoyable experience. So, if we're talking about the 4 pillars of a video game, first off, gameplay. So gameplay is fun. It's arguably the most important part of the game. It has to have good gameplay. So far, it's very playable. It's very enjoyable. I did not find that there's just a weird thing, but it's a button thing, and honestly, it's that I'm an idiot and that I still haven't gotten used to it. When you mount a horse or when you do an action, it's usually the A button. Here is the R2, so it confuses me. Sometimes I'm jumping off the horse when I'm trying to just walk off of it or something like that, or when I'm trying to sprint. So that's one. Gameplay is enjoyable. Second, I'll just say the 4 pillars. For me, gameplay, visual design, sound design, story. Those are the 4 pillars of video game, at least for me. So gameplay, good. Visually, I already said it's the strongest point of the game. It is extremely beautiful at its next level in its visual design. I'll just go through a few more pictures here. I'll probably stay on that one. I'll show you a few more. Why not? Here's an open field. Here's a night one. It is an extremely, extremely beautiful game. Just like I said, check out pictures online. It's they did a fantastic design with the visual design of this game. Next, sound design. It's pretty good. It's also they added a little funny little thing. When usually games have maps and stuff like that, and you can just mark a location and then it appears like in your display, and you can just follow it and it has like a little compass. Here they do something different, and that's that you follow the wind. So it's it's if you ever mark a destination in your map, the wind starts blowing in that direction. So that's how you know where you're supposed to go. You're supposed to follow the wind, which is honestly a very samurai thing to do. So I like that little extra thing here, and that goes again with the visual design because you're looking at the wind and then you see how it's affected by the light. But also it goes with the sound design because you're also hearing the wind. Sound so far is extremely extremely good. Not as good as visual, but it's serviceable. I like the voice acting. I like that you actually feel like you're in a living environment. The music is very good, very enjoyable, very Japanese. So sound design is good. And story, like I said, what I've had so far seems like a pretty straightforward story. I still haven't reached the point where the story actually kicks off. Well, like I said, I kind of know basically the story. Mongolians invading the islands of Tsushima. This dude's trying to save his uncle. That's where it begins. That's where it kicks off. But I'm guessing it's gonna be like at least 20 hours of gameplay, at least 30. So there's gotta be. I'm assuming that after I save the uncle, things are gonna change, and we'll see. If not, it's still cool because there's some flashbacks of when the dude was being trained, his relationship with the uncle, his relationship with being a samurai with honor, his relationship with his father, and so, like I said, it's been entertaining so far. It keeps you engaged, and so again, another solid pillar. So the 4 pillars are good so far. I will continue playing the game, and I will probably keep you updated a little bit more on it. But so far, I'm enjoying it, and I highly recommend it. So if you're in the market for a game, it's been worth my $60 so far. So I highly recommend it. I believe that's it for today. Yeah. Oh my god, I went a little bit longer than I expected. I thought it was gonna be like a quick 10-minute one, but oh well. Anyway. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. Again, follow my Facebook page, Super Dario World, YouTube and Twitch channel, Super Dario World. Subscribe there. Later today, probably in about, well, you guys don't know what time it is here, but it's 4:42. So ideally by 5:30, maybe 6, I'll start streaming again with my kid brother, and I'll keep playing Ghost of Tsushima. One fun fact. Since the light went out yesterday, this is a game that you actually have to save. I don't know if it has autosave, but I didn't save it because the light went out. So I may have to repeat absolutely every single thing I did yesterday. So fun times. Anyway, that's it for today. As always, tomorrow. Oh, we had the big Microsoft reveal, the game reveal today. I haven't gone through all of them. Comic-Con still but they don't allow you to comment on things live. So to me, everything was recorded. So it's annoying me. I'll probably just wait and watch the highlights in the weekend because to me that was bullshit. But the Microsoft thing reveal was today. Apparently it was like 20-something games. I haven't seen them. I will go through all of them and I will break those down tomorrow. So as always, you're looking forward to that. As always, thank you for listening, and I will see you again next time.